I think he goes home and jerks off about men saying please to him. Right? This guy knows what I'm talking about. The rest of you...
X videos?
Yeah. The rest of you will, well, you know. Anyway, what else is going on? Halloween's coming?
Yep. You guys got your costumes?
It sure is. It sure is. Halloween is October 31st this year, everybody. Keep it in your calendar. Sometimes it changes, but no, it doesn't. Any Halloween plans, Matthew?
No, we were talking about we don't know what our costumes are yet.
No.
So, if anybody got any good ideas,
we should dress up like the number 10. You be the 1, I'll be, you know, the 0.
Wow, that's sad.
Yeah, a little bit.
We be 0-1
yeah.
as well.
Well, we did a 3-part episode on Philly crime.
Mm-hmm.
What's something that you think you like? What do you like about Philadelphia? Have you been here before?
I've been once. And it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Hell yeah. I didn't want to like oversell it, but yeah, it's cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I like that Philly it still has their blue collar sort of working class roots, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's poor white people here, and they're like, I go nowhere, you know. You'll have to fucking drag me out of here. Whereas in some cities, it's not always like that. Well, we got a really fun show for you guys planned tonight. We're gonna have some comic friends of ours come out. They're gonna do some stand up, and then we're gonna riff with them a little bit. So it should be fun. We'll take some we'll take some questions from you, and it's gonna be a good time. So we're gonna bring out our first comic.
I'll start clearing some of these chairs to the side.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot how long that's gonna take.
Oh, right.
Man, we didn't really think this through.
Oh, here we go.
We wanted to have room. She's a puppet comic, and she needs room for her 9 puppets.
Yeah.
Here, I'll move this one. But,
moving chairs at the live show.
Yeah. But we go way back. Me and this gal, really funny person, Philly native. You can see her all over town. Please welcome to the stage Miss Peggy O'Leary, everybody.
I guess am I taking this one?
Yeah, and now we're here to talk about. Anyway, I'm happy you're here because I feel like we go way back. We did stand up in New York together, and now we're like aging together.
Terribly together.
Peggy walked in the green room and she was like, "Did you get old?" And, but yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
That's what happens, you know. Isn't it funny how death comes for everybody?
Yeah.
No escape.
100%.
But anyway, I think I'm excited to talk to you about the Philly mob because we did a 3-part episode about the Philly mob recently, and it really is a good story, right? Because in New York you have the 5 families where it's there's rules and there's you really have to have your shit together, and then Philly's just it's Philly.
Yeah.
You come to Philly and that's where. If you want to be a psychopath who kills everybody, there's a space for you.
Yeah, it's just who we are as people.
Yeah.
It's great. I feel like everybody who, if you lived in Philly long enough, you're 6 degrees of separation from somebody in the mob.
Yeah.
100%, because there's a lot of crime.
But really, what else are you gonna do with your life if you live down here? There's it's the mob or work at Wawa.
Yeah.
Work by the docks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even that's too hard to get into. So it's really just the mob.
It's a real union town too.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really just
and the unions are controlled by the mob.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like I can't say much. I feel like I'll get in trouble with the family, but no.
Oh, you will?
No, I'm just kidding. My grandpa was a loan shark. Red's O'Leary. He just seems like a badass. And then my dad and uncle are pussies. It's weird. It's crazy how it skips a generation.
Yeah, it kind of does, because I think my great-grandfather was a degenerate gambler. My dad told me about that, and I never met him, but I wish that I did.
Yeah, I feel like I'd have a lot in common with that one.
Yeah. He had like a mistress who lived upstairs.
Yeah, I mean.
And I just, yeah.
Sounds pretty badass.
Yeah.
That's sad. That was just your grandma, and they called it a mistress.
Yeah, right.
He's like, the other side of the family.
He just put a wig on. Like, no, it's my other girlfriend, guys. I'm cool.
But yeah, I mean, well, the other job you can do in Philly, which is weirdly, is be a funeral director, which is what my family actually does.
Okay.
Which is weird. I was trying to find the story, like, it must have just been like a story my dad told me about, like, because like people try to glorify the mob as like this cool shit or like old school. And, like my dad does the same thing with like funeral homes. Like he's like you gotta keep in the family. Like when I was little,
thinks it's like 6 feet under.
Yeah, you're like stop no. Or like he's always like family above everything. I'm like we're not in the mob. We bury the dead. It's very different. Like, but yeah, I feel like a lot of mobs were connected to funeral homes because it was easy to like.
And it's
get rid of the body, you know? A lot of refrigeration in the house, you know?
One-stop shop.
And it's a cash business.
Yeah.
You always pay cash for your dad's funeral.
Bars and funeral homes, you always pay cash.
Yeah, will you take a briefcase full of $10 bills?
Yeah. Is there an ATM around the corner or anything?
And it's still like the wife still has to count the money. Like, it's like, yeah, Barb's gonna count the money in front of you first, though.
Right. Well, okay, so in Philly, so for a while you had Angelo Bruno, right? He was the boss of Philly. Then he was murdered. Then Nicky Scarfa ended up taking over. And then after Scarfa went to prison, New York. So that's an interesting thing too. It's like there was always like New York sending guys. Like New York was always sort of exerting their power over like Philly, always kind of like telling them
right
what to do, you know?
Yeah, and I mean because that's weird. Because Nicky died in New York.
He died in prison.
In prison in New York, though. Which, when I was reading that, I was like, why the fuck didn't he do his crime in Philly? But, like, eventually he, like, also...
Yeah, you just kind of get sent anywhere for prison.
Yeah. No, not necessarily always.
You can't choose.
You can't choose where you go to prison. They're like, Mr. Gotti, which Midwestern state would you like to spend the rest of your life?
My thing is, like, I get it was a federal crime. I guess that's why you can go anywhere. But I guess in my mind, I'm like, yeah, he's like, he died in Central PA. And then I read it, and he's like, I think he died in Sing Sing.
Oh. Maybe
not.
Who's got a phone? Who's got a phone?
Can you Google that?
Who's got an unlimited data?
Isn't that what your job is? Aren't you the fact checker?
I mean, he's never employed me in that position before.
No, that's what I always thought you were on the show for.
Matt's going to be replaced. With a Syrian refugee.
What?
I'm giving you a job.
One person just was like, oh,
Yeah.
you can't say refugee anymore.
Yeah, you're not allowed to give them jobs, apparently.
Some good white producer was fired for that job.
Yeah, just imagine some 11-year-old kid who's like really good at GarageBand on his Mac.
Again, I kind of.
It's gonna be a long night, I guess. Yeah, he's just really good at GarageBand, and he's like, Mr. Recine, I got you the coffee that you like.
I feel like you're still describing Matt.
I do call him
He
Mr.
does have a
Recine.
baby face, doesn't he?
Yes.
I'm older than Mike, too.
Whoa.
A little behind the curtain. If you will.
You are?
Yeah.
So you're older than me, too? Wow, we are aging fairly. I gotta moisturize.
Mike looks like he could be my dad.
Where are you from, though? Aren't you from, like, the Midwest?
Yeah, I'm from the Midwest.
Yeah, fuck, you guys eat, like, too much corn, so you stay, but it's fine.
We hear about diets, and then we're like, whoa. And then it really works.
Yeah.
Mike and I came out of, like, the womb just yelling at people.
Like, where'd you get that?
Very feisty.
Where'd you get that Lucy? Anyway, but yeah, no, Matt's very Midwestern.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm okay with paper straws.
Which is good. That's like a good.
Oh yeah, you know they have paper straws? I was like, I'm fucking have pussy straws. I was like, I've been in Philly too long.
I'll drink out of anything. Give me a canola.
But Midwestern, that's like a good thing, you know? When somebody goes, oh, you're very Midwestern, that's like a compliment.
Yeah.
But then it's also
It's
like,
never a compliment.
You are so fucking Midwestern.
Never a compliment.
No, I think it is. I mean, because I feel like when I was living in LA, people were like, yeah, I can tell you're from the East Coast. I'm like, what's that First, like, well, it sounds like you smoked a pack of cigarettes since you were 10. I'm like, no, we all have this voice.
Do you guys ever get that? We're all East Coast people. You ever go on the West Coast and they're like,
oh, you're so...
yeah.
No, they're Philadelphians. They don't leave. You kidding me? They might go to South Jersey if they make some money.
Yeah, and if they go to jail, they're choosing Philadelphia.
I don't know why I thought that was more Did everyone think that was weird that I thought it was weird he lived in New York? I guess I was just pissed off. I was like, why the fuck is he in New York?
Right, yeah, totally.
You know, I have a real issue with New York.
Maybe. But I'll tell you, I was in Seattle this weekend, and everybody's like pretty nice and stuff, but I think it's just because there's space and there's mountains, and that's why you're not racist. There's just room, and there's places to go swimming.
Yeah, I mean, everybody I know lived in a row home, or you could hear everybody's fights. When people were like, my family didn't fight, I'm like, everybody fought on the block. We all at the same time, I feel like.
So here's another thing too, like, I'm Italian, you're Irish, and it almost feels like Italians and Irish have been like accepted as whites, but like not really, you know? So it's like we got invited to like a high school party where we don't really belong.
22, Mike. We've been accepted.
Yeah, I didn't know about any of this.
No, but I do think that is a Philly. Like, I know in Philly it's still a thing. Like, I mean, everybody I know is Irish or Italian, and like honestly, when I was little, if you were Spanish, I was like, he's Italian. I met a half black girl, and I was like, you're Italian, right? She's like, no, my fucking dad's black. I was like, whoa. I thought, and if you were like, I thought everyone was Irish or Italian, and I was raised like in the like, they didn't accept us when we came here. It's like, we have 5 generations living in Philadelphia.
Right, that's like something like your cousin says.
Yeah.
You know.
That's just because he like is high on.
You know, Irish were slaves too.
I know.
But it does feel like Irish and Italians were kind of like new at being white. So it's like we got invited to like the cool kids party, but we're not sure if we're there to be made fun of.
Right. Or we're still yelling, and they're like, you don't have to yell anymore. It's fine.
You can just
also,
be yourself
stop having so many kids. Like, I'm one of 6. Like, stop it. Why are we still doing that? You know? No.
Yeah. Okay, so Peggy, here's something I'd like to talk about.
Okay.
It's something that you're pretty familiar with. So like, you know, we spend all the time on the podcast talking about the mob. It seems like the most successful mobsters are not afraid of death, right? There's a story about John Gotti. He like robbed some guy's warehouse, and then the guy was looking for him, and then Gotti found the guy on the street, and he was like, hey, I heard you're looking for me. And then he pulls out a gun. He's like, I'll put 2 bullets in your fucking head right now. I don't even care. And there's something about that where I feel like maybe that's a part of. And we're talking about death because your family runs a funeral.
Right, yeah. Like, everything I own is because of death. That's a fun thing to realize as a child.
Look at this dead lady's jacket she's wearing.
Yeah. We buried her yesterday. I was like, can I keep it? Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think that, you have.
That was your tip, but that's your tip at the end of the night. They're like, you know what? You did a real good job at this funeral. Here's my grandmother's jacket.
Yeah,
Good job,
kinda.
Yeah.
I'm just going through the photos. I'm like, your grandma had great style. It's like, if you want to come over to the house later, we're clearing it out. I'm like, cool, I'll be there. Too dark for that made-up grandma that had a great life, guys. She had a great life in that made-up story. That was a weird woo for. It's like an owl. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think so. You have to, on some level, we were talking about, it's like, to be a gangster has to say, you have to be an idiot, which I think a lot of idiots aren't scared of death. You know what I mean? Like, because you're not thinking about it. Like, no one in my family, like, I've said things like,
didn't Tupac say something about not being afraid of death?
Yeah.
I think he did. Yeah. That's definitely Tupac.
Okay,
Let's go to our Tupac expert.
Wait, okay, well, yeah, I mean, I think that's also, you have to be a little hard, yeah. You have to be, like, to be a mobster, you gotta be a little hard. You have to pretend like you're not afraid of death. And I think the good ones are look death in the eye and then kill their opponent.
Right.
Opponent? That's not the word. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think, well, we were just like, I think it's like, you have to be like this, like, you think you're gonna be like this larger than life person, and you're like gonna be famous, and you're gonna cheat
Yeah, it's
death.
a very egotistical thing to be in that lifestyle.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, why are they always like good? Like, they're always like fancy dressers throughout time, right? Like,
Sure.
no.
But I don't know. There's something about like maybe you to do something in life, you to be so committed to it that you're like, I don't care if I die. Like being a fireman, you know.
Yeah, I think being a fireman is very similar to being in the mob.
That's what's cool.
where.
But like, there's no fireman that like
cool.
walks up to a fire and he's like, if you fucking take out this building,
Yeah, this
I'm
is
gonna come
fire in
out
the eye and is like,
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of death, motherfucker.
But do you think that that's what's cool about being a fireman? Where like firemen are like, yeah, I might eat some bad chili at the firehouse and get food poisoning and have diarrhea. But that's like a dangerous job.
Right.
There's something.
I feel like firemen are cool because they're hot. They have to wear all that stuff.
Like I feel like if like comedian is a pretty. It's an unremarkable thing to do with your life.
Yeah, clearly.
Who gives a shit? There's
Nobody
enough of us.
cares.
No, you're right.
You could send a quarter of us to work camps, and I think the world would keep functioning.
100%.
So there's nothing really like, but
Like in apocalypse, why would you take us? Like, why would you save us?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe me, because I feel like I could last longer because I'm a woman with a lot of extra meat, you know? So maybe a man's like, she'll wander the desert with me. That's what I hope.
Yeah, how would you stay alive?
Peggy tries to be a fireman. They're like, yeah, you failed the test, but we could use your head to open doors.
So we just got so sad.
I know.
Aw, she does have a big head.
They used my mother's head to open doors. She was the best battering ram that the Philadelphia Fire Department ever had.
The jaws of life.
Thanks to Jaws of Life. Yeah. But I don't know. There's something about like you have to. I don't know. There's something cool about doing a job that might kill you.
Woo.
Right?
What do you
What do you do?
What do you do, sir?
I'm a woodworker.
Right. So that's.
I would have guessed barista, but that's funny.
What?
Are you Devin?
No.
Oh, okay.
Close.
Devin says he's gonna come to every show. And he's never here.
I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like this is just a weird love letter to everybody with a blue-collar job. You should have just been a fireman or a
Hello.
policeman, okay? I feel like you just always are just like, isn't it cooler if I was in a union? It's like, you could do that still. No one cares about your...
Yeah, but I. Yeah, you're right.
Dude, you are getting older though.
Die with some dignity. Well, being an old woodworker is like cool, you know. You're like, hey, my
I
dad.
guess I gotta be honest, I'm not exactly
My dad-
sure what a woodworker does. It's like a carpenter?
Oh my God.
Hey, what does a woodworker do, Mike?
Yeah, Mike, come on.
They
I'm
make-
such a dummy for asking the question. Tell me,
They make
Recine.
round tables, right?
They work
Yeah.
with wood. They make furniture. They make.
Cabinets.
Cabinets?
Oh, yeah. They make Nick Mullins
So,
cabinets.
I guess I'm sorry. Is a
This guy
woodworker the
makes
fancier
meth
version of a
and-
carpenter?
Yeah.
Shut up, Peggy. This guy makes meth ashtrays. That's his specialty.
Yeah.
Really good.
I think the meth would burn through the wood, though. A little bit of it.
Anyway, well, I guess we gotta bring up our comment.
Yeah.
Wait, but we're gonna talk about Joey Merlino a little bit, who sort of took over after Scarfo, after John Stanford went to prison. You said you knew him?
I've met him a few times down the shore, yeah. I have. Has anyone ever been to the greenhouse? You'll probably see him on a Sunday. He's there. Singing.
What's his nickname again? Skinny
Joey. Yeah. And
He's pretty skinny, too.
well, what happened was in the 90s in Philly, there was sort of a war between John Stanford, who was like the old school Sicilian boss,
Right.
and Joey Merlino and his crew, who were like the sons and nephews of the Scarfo generation.
Right.
So they were kind of like, who's this Sicilian interloper who can't speak English?
Yeah, but and wasn't it that, like, didn't Marlino and some guy stab, what's his name's son? Like, it was like the
Sounds
next
about right. Yeah.
I did a lot of research for the show. I was like, I've met Joey Marlino. Can I do the show?
You said he's cool, right? Or you said he's like a nerd?
No, he was cool. No, he's he's cool, and he was like, my sister
No, Peggy,
knew him.
don't.
Okay, there was a moment at the greenhouse where he got up on a chair and everyone was like, Skinny Joey! And he was like singing, and I feel like one of his relatives could be here. That's why I'm here to tell
Yeah.
the story. Or like one of
Well,
my...
actually, so like Matt has been instructed to jump in front of a gun.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
If anybody tries to murder you, I'm just gonna put my body in.
No, I feel like I'd just go missing or
Well,
something.
Matt won't do that, but you know who would? A Syrian refugee. Those people are here to work. Oh, for God's sake!
Just trying to give him a job.
Every time he says Syrian
I'll be
refugee,
okay.
we all have to do a shot. We'll be drunk. So drunk tonight.
I feel like I need to I should give some money to the White Helmets or something.
But he like got up and he was singing. Everyone was like singing with him, and it was "Empty Garden" by Elton John, which is a song I don't know, which is crazy. I love Elton John, but it's kind of a slow song. It's like the afternoon of a Sunday, and you're like hanging out with like mobs. Like people were like, you know, big tits and shiny dresses, and he's singing like this slow song, and I was like watching. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
It's hard to age as a mobster. I feel like this might have been cooler in the 90s.
Yeah, everybody just kind of like, everybody gets old and everybody stops being cool.
Yeah.
Like I saw, so what's funny is like I was watching, we were doing some research for the show and I was watching this, it was a TMZ video and like TMZ, they find Handsome Johnny Fratto and Joey Merlino, they were coming from the airport and they're like, hey, how you doing guys, big fans. And they're like, oh, thanks. And the guy follows them to his car and they get in their car and they start playing Philadelphia Freedom by Elton John, which is like...
He must be a huge Elton John.
Right, and it's like, and we're all more connected than we think. Like, you think of these like old school Italian tough guys who are like, yeah, honor, respect, family, and they get it, and they get in their car and they put on a tape player. It's like, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay, I'm gay, and they're just enjoying a gay man's music.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like all that stuff is bullshit. Right?
Yeah, we're all not cool.
That's all I want.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna bring up another comic, I think, in a second. Any questions for Peggy or questions for Matt? I don't know.
All right, I don't like the way you said it though.
Well,
Matt.
if you guys want to jump in at any point, you know, you're more than welcome to. Even come up on the stage if you can wrestle the microphone out of Matt.
I'll come to you.
You kind of deserve it.
It's wireless. Just
But,
raise your hand and.
Why don't we bring up another guest?
Yeah.
And he'll do some stand-up for you guys, and then we'll talk to him about a few things. A few crime-related things.
Crime.
Or I don't know. What do you folks want to see?
Oh my God! Can I intro him? Jesus. He's the best. You'll see him he's all over Philadelphia. He's one of the best comics in Philadelphia. Give it up for Chris O'Connor!
Chris O'Connor! Chris O'Connor, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Matt, want to move this chair?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. Is Peggy's mic working yet?
Hello.
Oh no.
No.
I can cheer.
It's
Am I being silenced on this fucking show?
I can here. I'll take that. Let's
be a
fix
gentleman
this.
and give Peggy your microphone.
Aw. Now I feel sad after how much I was teasing him last time.
No, it makes him stronger.
All right, we got that figured out. We're doing all right.
Yeah.
Right? That's working?
Is that working?
Whatever. So I guess we didn't figure that out. Just
Does anybody,
rearranged some
is there another mic? Yeah, people? Nice. He's
I was
doing his job.
supposed to tap that at the beginning of my set so they could figure out what was wrong with that.
Oh.
And I tapped it right as you were walking out. Sorry about that.
Wait, so I want to say, Peggy, we forgot to ask you earlier. So you work at a funeral home. All day, you're around hot, dead bodies.
They're actually cold, but hot.
Oh, they're cold.
No, he meant like good looking.
Yeah, I got it.
What I want to ask you is, does anyone ever come into the funeral home because they were murdered?
We've had, so I've only been really working there since like February, so in my time we have not, but I know there are cases of murders and stuff, but not since I've been there. A lot of ODing.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Any ODs under suspicious circumstances?
There was.
I guess could there not be suspicious?
I feel like if you OD in Delco,
Hey,
they
there he
don't.
is.
Fuck.
Why are you putting it on the ground?
Feed it to me, boy. That's fine. I'll get it. I feel like, you know, that's not, I mean, there might have been, but I feel like it's like nowadays, as people die of ODing, everyone's just like, yeah, it probably happened. Like, oh, this got sad.
Because I was just thinking of Goodfellas. There's the line where, you know, Ray Liotta says, Tommy's mom, Joe Pesci, wanted an open casket so people could see what they did to her kid. Like, you think anyone's like, I want them to see what they did to my boy, and your dad is be like, are you sure? Because it's pretty.
Yeah, I mean, that has never happened, but yes, the funeral director's job is to be like, you don't want to have an open, you know, and it's like a not, yeah, sometimes you have to tell people like, it's really, it's sad, but you don't want.
Yeah.
Does that ever happen if someone's just like ugly? Just like, you don't want to.
And my dad's just like, no, he's decrossed, I promise.
But this is his face.
We'll just put a good photograph.
Yeah, the family's like, he actually looks good. What are you talking about?
Peggy's dad looks at, he's like, wow, who took a baseball bat to this to this person?
I'm like, Dad, this is whatever, you know.
Well, let me do my Philly accent. What was this guy beating to death with an ugly stick or something?
Yeah, that's working for me.
It kind of felt like your accent. No, like Philly. Yeah, well, we say wooder and like, you know, shitty stuff like
Phone.
that. Phone.
Yeah.
Is anyone interested in fixing that, or?
No. What are you talking about? It's the sexiest accent there ever was.
Yeah, there's so many guys like talk dirty to me. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll touch your dick and stuff. Yeah, let's go home already. You guys done drinking?
What do you do for work? I'm like a scientist. I work in biochemistry, yo.
I had lost my accent when I lived in New York, and then I literally were around my sisters, and I was like, and it's back.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't try to hide who you are. I want one time I went to.
He looked me dead in my eyes when he said that. I was like, Jesus, okay, this is an emotional podcast all of a sudden.
One of my favorite Philly moments, I went to like the Subway in South Jersey, and it was right when they started toasting the sandwiches, because Quiznos did it, and then Subway was like, fuck you, we can toast our sandwiches too, you piece of shit, that's all you got. So they bought ovens, you know, and then it was not good for Quiznos after that. But
It's the dawn of the toasted sandwich. What year is that?
I went to Wawa today to get my smoked turkey BLT, which is like my usual order. And you put cold sandwiches on the order, and then it goes, do you want us to toast it? Which I think is funny. Nice little.
Yeah, because there's a difference.
Can't all be winners.
Yeah, okay, actually, I'm gonna...
This is not a sandwich podcast, okay?
No, but
Also, you
here's
gotta
the
think
thing.
about the customers at Wawa, you know what I mean?
Right.
They don't know.
No, fuck that shit.
I want
There's
a cold,
a difference.
I want a cold hoagie toasted. What the fuck, yo?
That's not a hot sandwich.
Yeah,
Wait, that's not a fucking hot sandwich. A fucking toasted hoagie is not a fucking hot sandwich. If roast beef is on that, if pork roast is on that, is the turkey heated up?
Queen.
Is there a little gravy? I mean, of all people, you should fucking know this. There's a difference between a
you're right.
toasted hoagie
You're right.
and a fucking hot sandwich.
This is fucking water ice all over again.
Right, and a toasted hoagie is kind of a weak sandwich when you think about it. Because a hot sandwich should be, right, hot meat, hot gravy.
Right.
A toasted sandwich is just,
Look,
it's kind of
I
a
think
little bit.
it's anti-hoagie to toast it. They call them grinders, and I get upset about it, whatever. But if Wawa wants
it's
to
kinda
corner the
anti-hoagie,
market of everything,
Yeah.
then, you know, let these idiots toast their fucking hoagies, okay?
Right.
But it's not a fucking hot sandwich. Now, is there like, okay, wait. Okay, here's the thing.
It's not a fucking hot sandwich! What the fuck?
I will die on this cross. Did they turn me off?
Yeah, we got sick of that.
John J. Wawa is here. He doesn't really care for Peggy's sandwich riffs. listen, I own half this town. You gonna shit on my toasted hoagies? Go fuck yourself. I'll cut your microphone off, yo.
If there was if there was like a hoagie with
Jesus Christ. If there was a hoagie with like some.
Thank you, Chris.
Do you call it
Team
gravy
player.
or do you call it sauce?
I've never met a self-respecting person that calls it gravy.
You don't hang out in Philly.
No, it sounds like he does.
But gravy has
so like
gravy has meat in it.
if there was like
Gravy has meat in it.
No, motherfucker, you
No?
don't bring this. Don't have this question start happening.
this crowd will go against you.
Yeah, don't bring logic.
They just call
to
like a
this.
regular marinara gravy. So no
Sauce
meat,
is
just
gravy.
That's correct.
I don't
garlic,
say that, but
all right.
it's okay. I feel
Hey.
like I'm loud enough.
You know what?
You are.
I don't know, I call it.
All right, how many drinks have you had, sir? You were so fucking quiet up top. I thought Mr. Fucking
Hey,
Loose Lips over
you
here.
woke up the beast with that gravy.
I don't know, but I feel pretty good. I got a mic.
All right, Peggy. So where was I? Okay, so this is my favorite toasted sandwich story. So I go to Subway, and I'm at the Subway in South Jersey, and it was right when they started toasting the sandwiches. And I go, yeah, let me get like chicken bacon ranch toasted. What are we doing here? Sorry.
Chicken bacon ranch toasted.
We all want to hear
I
about
don't know. I need Peggy's full attention. Do your shot of pain thinner and.
Come on. Sounds great.
So I'm like, yeah, let me get a chicken bacon ranch toasted, and she's like, I'm like, do you toast the vegetables too? And the lady goes, yeah, I'll do it. I just think that's nasty. Yeah, I'm like, these are my people. Yeah, that's fucking nasty, yo.
Oh yeah, it's got heat.
That's fucking nasty. All right, so
I
Chris.
agree with that because it's kind of I don't know. I don't like warm vegetables.
You don't like roasted vegetables?
Well, what Quiznos would do.
Yeah, that would be.
What are we even doing here?
I will say this is the most they've been excited.
Quiznos would put the tomatoes and the onions through the oven, and they would put the lettuce on.
Well, yeah, fucking wilted
post-oven.
lettuce. Go fuck yourself. That's what it is.
But I don't know. Who here thinks you should like tomatoes? Who here thinks you should toast the tomatoes? It's nasty.
Who would? I feel like you guys are a table of firemen. No? Okay. And then I saw I knew some of them. So okay, never mind.
What do you guys actually do? How far from firemen are you? Any of it, just any of it.
Lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the opposite. You know what's so funny? In my household, my dad would be more mad if I brought home a lawyer than a firefighter. Fucking scumbags, they sue everyone. I'm like, Dad, that's not kind of lawyery. I don't want to shit on your profession. That's so great. Give it up for lawyers.
All right, sorry. Everyone reluctantly.
What kind of law
Oh,
do you
she's a
guys?
fireman.
What kind of law do you guys practice?
It's general.
That's it. Now it sounds like you're unemployed.
Yeah.
General law is code for I work for Monsanto, and we sue farmers for holding onto their beans. Well, they told me a handful of beans. Give me those. I'm taking everything you own, you fucking piece of shit. You know it was in the contract. All right, so Chris, you're here because, well, you're a funny guy. You're from Philly. I want to talk about let's talk about Joey Merlino. This is how every podcast goes.
Yeah.
We pencil in mafia references.
Yeah, if you say a mob boss's name, it counts as your podcast.
It counts as having a mafia podcast.
Yeah.
Which I feel bad for anybody who finds the show and they're like, what the fuck is this? They talked about sandwiches for 15 minutes.
I think that makes sense. It's a
Yeah.
mob thing, right?
Yeah.
Monsters eat sandwiches. That's right there. All right.
So Chris, here's what I want to get into. So Merlino was a guy who he was kind of like John Gotti in a way that he liked the spotlight. He liked to go out. He liked nightlife. He liked to gamble.
You like to boogie?
He liked to boogie.
You literally just sang a song.
Oh shit! Ah shit! He liked the nightlife.
You like to boogie?
He liked the nightlife. He doesn't say I like to gamble in that.
I know, but come on, it was pretty great.
Yeah.
You said it in your sing-songy voice. Sorry, keep going.
Right.
It's not about that.
He was a guy who was he was staying alive. He had a fever. He had a Philadelphia fever.
Freedom.
Well, he was kind of like Gotti in that way, where like he kind of liked the attention, you know. And that's sort of the opposite of like a traditional. The most successful mob bosses are guys like Chin Gigante, who just kind of like wear a bathrobe and pee on the street, pretend they're crazy, and don't really spend their money on anything. And so that's kind of like, there's this weird thing about having money where it's like, what do you do with your money? Do you enjoy it, or do you just hoard it, like all those Instagrams tell you to do?
No, yeah, I think like it seemed like the issue with him is that like his dad was like a normal mob guy. And then he was born into, so he had no idea really how.
There was nothing else he was gonna do.
Yeah, and he was like, I think he was just like, fuck that. Like he didn't have to build the empire, so he's just like, oh fuck, I got money, I'm gonna start fucking people up and spending shit and taking pictures and whatnot.
And then it was like taken away from him, and he was like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, wait, when did that happen? Yeah, he did
when they put John Stanfa in.
Oh, right. Well, he was like young at that time, right? He had like a crew, like there was a bunch of like 20.
He was like in his 30s. He was like our age.
That's the snap story. He
was like our age, and he didn't have roommates.
No, I think he was younger. He was like 18 or 19 when like he kind of went after like Nick. Wait, who was right before him? Sorry.
No, it was Stanford or whatever that
Yeah.
Well, during that particular in the 90s, he was like in his early 30s.
Right. But the war was like in the 80s. The war was like through the 80s, I think. Because Stanfield like made him a guy. He was like, Stanfield was like, oh, you're my friend now. Don't kill me. And also, Stanfield was like, now I can kill him. And then they did. And it, like I think he was like they were just a bunch of crazy 20-year-olds. They got like a crew together and they just started killing people and fucking bitches.
And singing Elton John. Singing Elton John and killing people. That is a weird combo, and I love it.
He also planned a heist. He had a cool life.
He's still alive.
Yeah, but it's over now.
And he's here. Welcome.
For all intents, the fun part's over, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
But I guess my thing is like, okay, what's the point of like acquiring wealth and amassing wealth if you're not gonna like have a Christmas party where you invite some homeless kids, you know, or like.
Wait, okay.
That's what you did. You invited people, like the TV people over. The TV. Sound like I'm 90 years old.
Yeah, wait. Okay,
I brought the television.
Peggy, there's a lot of rich people out there who like don't spend their money, if you can believe it.
Yeah. Okay.
They don't buy all their friends Wawa. But like, I don't know. It's like, okay, once you're rich, what do you do with your money? Do you just hoard it, or do you like give it back to people? And it seems like giving back and enjoying it is bad for business almost.
Yeah,
like there's an Instagram that I follow, Alpha Leaders, and they love to have there's this post where they'll show a picture of Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, and they'll be like $140 billion. What is he doing? Like, get on the stage or off.
I
didn't know if you were still talking about Instagram or Mac for a second.
Well, I think that's a generational thing too. Yeah. Where like they're like the older people are like, I just want my kids to be okay, you know, they go to college or whatever, and then that kid is like, well, my dad got rich, what am I gonna do? Not spend this shit? I gotta go nuts.
Right.
And so then they do that, and the whole thing falls apart.
Well, and also it's like nowadays, if you want to be a good mobster, and that's why we probably don't know like a lot of like right now what's happening, like it's not in the spotlight because you shouldn't be on social media. You shouldn't be like, you know, saying at the greenhouse.
You shouldn't be posing with your gun on Instagram.
Right, you shouldn't be doing that because it's like the cops are like, you gave this to us. So it's like, yeah, I mean, to be a better mobster, you should definitely be more like.
But it just seems like that's a very boring life, to be like in the shadows, just slowly acquiring money, I feel like you would go insane doing that.
Okay,
What
sure.
do you do with
I'm gonna play devil's advocate though. I think that guy doesn't care about, like, we would all be like, let's go have a nice dinner, let's buy something for your mom. That guy likes to murder people, so he's having a good life.
No, he has to murder people, you know? Come on.
Right.
He has to.
No, but I'm saying he's not spending his money on like things that we spend to forget how much we hate our lives. Because his life, he's like, I'm doing everything I've ever wanted. I'm murdering people.
I don't know. I spend.
No one likes this. I don't agree with that side. I'm just saying that's the other coin.
Well, so do you follow the Instagram
Should we
account?
do shots? Can someone give me shots?
Let's get to this alpha.
Okay, do you follow alpha leaders on Instagram?
Does anyone have Instagram?
So they love to be like, they'll show a picture of like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, and they'll be like 140 billion in one photograph and not one Gucci belt. And it's like, oh yeah, because you know only poor people buy Gucci belts. Like, yeah, rich people never waste money.
Yeah, I'm sure they're on like a super yacht somewhere doing something stupid every once in a while. Where are you guys at? Are you guys rich and spending your parents' money,
I just
or are
think
you
that
poor?
acquiring wealth is stupid, and you should buy Gucci belts.
Yeah. Do you got anyone in here have a Gucci belt?
No.
No? Well, that's why you're poor,
Yeah.
or something like that. What? Yeah.
All right, we need some momentum to take us out and to.
Okay, wait, what about, how about, didn't Joey Marlino, like, why he got caught in Florida was because he had a mistress? What's that story?
Do you guys know anything about this stuff? No, them. The audience. Are you guys familiar with the mob?
Yeah.
They are?
They're more familiar with Groupon and cheapphilly.com. and things.
I think we should go back to sandwiches.
Things to do
That was
Philly
like
for
the
almost
most
nothing.
alive everyone felt.
Hoagies.
Actually, though, I was reading because I tried to a little bit research because I don't really. I mean, I love you and the podcast is fun, but I don't know much about the mob.
Sure.
But didn't Joey Marlino kill some, or like he got caught in Bella Vista, which is like one of the best restaurants in Philadelphia, and I was really.
neighborhood.
That is true.
What am I thinking? Oh, I'm thinking of. Wait, what am I thinking of? Fuck, sorry.
Yeah, well, he did a couple stints. He played a cool heist where they stole like $400,000 out of an armored car, and he got like 2 years. I'd do it. I'd do that for 2 years. I'd fucking that's fun. He played it with his friends.
How
They
about
pulled
we
it
all
off.
do
They
it
had their
after
money.
the show?
Yeah.
How about everyone in this room goes and robs a Wawa?
Except that we all, I feel like, got dumber as the show got.
Well, yeah, that was the period where they weren't like really cracking. They couldn't crack. They didn't have RICO yet, I don't think, so they couldn't like crack down on the mob. So like they would just fuck shit up, and they'd do like 6 months and then be back out and kicking ass again.
What if we all Ubered over to Wawa and stole all the tasty cakes?
Fucking don't talk about tasty cakes like that.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I feel like, yeah, they were, I mean, he was a badass. I mean, you can tell by the glasses he wears all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of glasses do you have?
He's like a big, like, Ray, I feel like every picture I've ever seen with his sunglasses, like Ray-Bans.
Like a
dog.
Sinatra
He's like,
kind of
yeah,
look
he's
there,
like
yeah.
a little bit like, see, that's why I'm like, I feel like he spent money.
Now he's an old man with abs, which is weird.
Wait, there's pictures of him shirtless, like current pictures?
Well, I've seen him
Maybe.
shirtless.
Yeah, I stumbled across them.
Mob porn is his favorite porn.
That's also on Alpha Leaders?
Yeah. Look at Joey Molino's abs. He's 64. All right.
That's how you stay on top.
All right. Everyone should go follow Alpha Leaders on Instagram. I think.
You should bring up your last comment.
Bring up our last comment.
Yeah.
All right. You do the honors, Peggy.
I love. This is great. I feel like okay. I love this guy. He's really fucking funny. He's one of the best. I said this for Chris as well, but he is really good. I went to high school with him. He's a Delco fucking native as well. He's a fucking amazing, hilarious gentleman. You guys are gonna love it. Get this. Here's the thing. I'm just gonna host for 2 seconds, guys. I get it. We got off topic with sandwiches, and you liked it more. Okay, but here's the thing. We're coming in for a landing, so let's fucking end this fucking plane with an uproarious love of comedy and laughter. Okay, and by doing that, I need you to clap your hands right now. Get some energy in this fucking room. Come on, buddy, you get it. Let's do it. You guys are gonna fucking love this comic. He's the best. Give it up for Jake Mattera!
Jake Mattera, everybody.
Yeah, Jake.
Well, Matt couldn't get that microphone to work, but we're going to share one.
Yeah.
Right?
Anytime I want to say anything, I'm supposed to tap on his shoulder. It's going well.
Recine, open up. I feel like Recine didn't get theater training. Open up. This table's so fun in the back, and I feel like you've been giving them a cold shoulder. These guys are the funnest. This whole section.
All right.
Open up a little.
Turn my back to this side of the room.
Well, that's why you open up. You
all right. Hey, it's the Peggy O'Leary show, everybody. Come on. They're like, Peggy. Get this piece of shit. Yeah, so Jake, we've never met before, but Peggy recommended you.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
Hello, how are you? We went to
So you guys went to high school together, Byron Allen.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
We went to high school together. He was in stage crew and I was in theater.
I don't know how to cheat out to you guys.
You're doing fine. It's called cheating. You're now not cheating. Now you're fully this way.
Yeah. All I can think about.
Like
You're fine. That's better, right, guys? Now you can see his profile.
I prefer the time out approach.
I have autism, everybody. So, what are we talking about, Matthew?
Whoa, what? What are you? You're leaving
Well,
me
hello, everybody. The best
Thank you.
waiter of all time.
Zeke, everyone.
Give it up for Zeke.
Okay, so when we talk about the mob, you know, a lot of times we think about, you know, the sweet tracksuits, the nice cars, the gold chains, the white Christmas tree, you know, all the stuff for yourself. But really, one of the reasons you lead a life of crime is because of your family. And Jake's a family man, right? You're a new dad.
Yeah, I'm a new dad. I have a 1-year-old. Yeah.
Jake's got a 1-year-old.
Still breaking it in. Don't. I don't know what that means.
Clarify.
You're breaking in your baby?
Yeah. I'm learning a lot.
It's like a shoe to you? You're like, listen, it's only been a year. I'm still not sure if I like it or not.
I have a lot of time to screw this up. Yeah.
Were you, when you had your kid, did you feel like you were ready to do it?
No, not at all.
Yeah. You're never ready, right?
No, you're never ready. For years, like, my wife was like, please, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, let's get a dog, and like that held off for like 2 years.
My girlfriend wants a child, so I'm sure we'll have one eventually. But I'm also very good at pulling out, if you know what I mean. I'm very good at removing my penis from the birth canal. If you catch my drift.
Yeah.
Very subtle. We love it.
You're very sterile. Like, you're probably, you can't have a
Think I'm
baby.
sterile?
Let's be honest, you can't. I don't believe that you're smart enough to pull out, so. You should see a doctor. We're all worried.
Yeah, apparently too many Lunchables makes you sterile. Like I think that my sperm works, but from all the Lunchables I've eaten.
The pizza pie.
Yeah. But I don't know. Does it like change your life when you have a kid?
No.
Really?
Responsibility on
Everybody says it changes your life. Like your brain gets rewired.
It is great. Like I mean, I was a pretty soft person to begin with. It's definitely made me softer, you know? Like now, like I'm just like anything I cry at. Like my favorite movie before was The Mist. And now I can't even think about that movie. You guys have seen that movie? Has anyone
No,
seen that movie?
nobody can.
Yeah, they almost.
It's like, holy shit.
Just one dude. Everyone else is like, what the fuck movie is this?
What's that one tape? Man, they got it.
So you can't watch it anymore?
No. Can I spoil it?
Yeah, spoil it. Yes.
Yeah, it's been out for like 20 years, so we're not gonna watch it.
It's a book.
Thomas Hayden?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the guy from Hung.
Some guy's got a pause on his Netflix right now. No, please. Runs out all these years. Don't spoil the mist.
Right. Here's the ending to The Mist. Fast forward now. Basically, they think there's monsters there are monsters in the thing, and in the mist, and they think one's approaching, and they had a gun.
It's a child.
It's a child and a dad and like a girlfriend or a wife, and he shoots. There's 2 bullets, and he shoots the woman and the child, like his own child, and then the mist clears up, and it's just an army tanker coming to save them.
Wow, this is such a fun way to end a comedy show. Jesus Christ,
So,
Jake.
like,
Yeah,
it's
I
like
get
one of
it
the
now.
beautiful ending to that movie, and then like I had a kid. I'm like, why would they do that? Yeah, so that's
Wait, it took you having a kid to have sympathy for a dying child and wife?
Yeah.
Were you soft? Because I'm going to argue you're a monster.
Yeah, there's a monster.
You could have been a mobster, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, before Jake had his kid, he watched Shit Was This. He was like, "What's the big deal?"
I don't get it.
It's an epic movie, I get
I
it.
can't look like this and say that. What do you call that video that you sent me? The guy. Can we talk about him?
Yeah, let's get to him a little later.
Okay.
But so like you have a kid. So I guess a lot of times when you lead a life of crime, right? It's for your family. So how about this? Let's name a crime, and you tell us if you would do it for your kid.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Am I getting caught?
There's the risk of getting caught.
Okay,
You might get caught.
All right.
So let's start with shoplifting.
To save your child.
Not to save your child, just for your child.
To save my child.
I would shoplift to save his child. He's a bad father.
Terrible. Glad we're getting that out there on podcast line. Yeah, I would shoplift.
Yeah. I was talking to my dad about this weekend. I was like, because I have a brother with autism, and I was like, how have we not used him to shoplift yet? Have him go into his Thomas the Train bag, and he just tell him to put stuff in there. How have we not done that yet? Just to get back at God for ruining our lives.
With free Doritos.
Yeah. All right, God, read it. This is,
these aren't Cool Ranch. We gotta go back. All right.
What's another crime?
Well, clearly no one here has an autistic brother. Because you don't understand the urge to get free stuff. All right, the other crime. That's too far. You guys name a crime.
Arson.
Arson. Would you burn down a Quiznos for your child?
The one Quiznos left?
Without question.
This lady said, duh.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a while.
She's like, I would burn down a Quiznos.
Absolutely. I would just do that if I didn't have a family. To be honest.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What about illegal gambling?
Yeah. I would do
He's
that.
from Philly.
Yeah.
You gotta hire the stakes,
I'm like,
man.
am I doing that now?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about selling child pornography?
For your child.
For your kid. It's already been made. It's already been
middleman.
produced. He's just the middleman. If he doesn't do it,
Help his kid.
He's the producer. He's on set. In this version, not only is he just selling it, he's producing.
No, he's just selling the DVDs at the laundromat.
How much am I bringing? No, I would not do that.
Does it pay for his college?
All right.
If it pays for his no, I just find a job that pays for his college. Like at a community college or something. Something small, and we'll see how he does.
I don't know, folks. Give us another. This table over here. Give us a crime. Murder. Would you murder someone?
Say someone specific.
Yeah. Would you
Yeah,
send
like-
a pipe bomb to George Soros' house?
It's topical.
Yeah. I read the newspaper. I have the New York Times briefing on my phone.
I would probably veer away from pipe bomb in the mail. Probably. I'm not gonna rule it out completely. Yeah, I would. Did you say I would do anything for your child?
That's a good
All right,
parent.
that's a good parent. We're learning very quickly I'm not a good dad. That's why I don't talk about it.
Yo, why are you out so late on a fucking Wednesday? Go home.
But you are kind of talking about your kid in like an honest way, because everybody else who has a baby is like, it changed my life, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. And you, it feels like you got a roommate or something. Like you're renting out a spare room on Craigslist.
Definitely a shitty roommate.
It feels more like you took in a Syrian refugee, you know? And you're like, yeah, he's just kind of there.
That was the third reference.
He's just been saying that because there's a Syrian refugee back there.
Yeah, and he's fixing. Yeah,
Stop talking about my boyfriend so publicly.
I know. I will say.
Peggy, is your boyfriend 11 years old?
Wait, are you guys doing child porn? Just bringing it all together.
How do you think I bought this coat?
I want to backpedal a little bit and say it was the best moment of my life.
Your kid?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not much has changed.
I thought you were still talking about child pornography.
Best. Okay. The mist. No. Okay.
Yeah. Where are we at here?
You think better than Conan?
This is your show.
Do I think having a baby's better than doing Conan? No.
I still want to do Conan.
All right. Would you sell your baby to Conan? Yeah.
Am I selling it to Conan or am I selling it to you?
You're selling it to Conan. He has a better life.
Well, yeah, Conan would give him a better life. I'd show up like his dad, like in a sitcom, like 40 years later, like, hey, it's me, I'm sick. You know? Yeah.
We are long overdue for a good sandwich riff.
Yeah, I mean, this was great. I loved this whole night. I love you so much, Recine. Give it up for Mike Recine, fucking Matt Anderson, right? You guys are very great. I love it. It's very fun. I love it.
I know this is like an organized crime podcast, but there's a lot of other good crime in Philadelphia.
You're right, and it's almost like we're pigeonholing ourselves.
Yeah.
By being like, oh, this is an organized crime podcast, because some crime is not organized.
Like
some crime is just a guy making meth in his bathtub. We never get to talk about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's like you know about Gary Heidnick, right?
No.
He's like the guy who inspired Silence of the Lambs, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He's from North Philly. Let's claim him.
Yeah.
We inspired Silence of the Lambs, goddammit.
I like that take as if like you're just like, fuck the Eagles, let's take him. He's a fucking serial killer, fucker.
Yeah.
Jake and Peggy, did you guys ever do anything illegal? I don't know, when you were like down on your luck or?
I've done a lot of, I've done illegal things. I've never done but I wouldn't call them like crimes. Like, sure, I bought drugs. You gotta bend the rules a little bit. Yeah, like I never No, yeah, I know. I never did a violent crime. I mean, I beat my brother up and I broke his nose, but that actually is the highlight of my life. So
Right.
I'm gonna go with that's pretty cool.
Did you ever pull a Matt Anderson and do gay for pay?
I didn't get paid, which sucks, but I did do gay. You know.
You didn't get paid.
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. Well. God, we need a sandwich rip to save us.
We can also talk about the abortion doctor.
All right, guys, listen. Here's the thing. I know you made a joke up top that this was the Peggy.
Which one? There was one in Philly, and the butt implants lady. You remember that one too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of Philly crime, man.
What about the guy who pretended to be a gynecologist?
Was that the abortion doctor or no?
No.
Oh.
This is all Philly?
I don't know. There's a lot happening here, man.
Okay.
It's the tourism board.
This truly feels like a young boy's sleepover. Do you know what I mean? I always knew they were kind of like they would teeter out and be boring, and it would end with them being like, "So should we all jerk off in front of each other?" But I didn't realize how dumb you fucking idiots are.
And we're
No, let's talk about God, you hear about that butt plug? Did this happen in Philly? Yeah, none of you. You're just stating things that nobody in a dark room is going to Google.
You know, you get into your 30s and there's no sleepovers anymore. So
Now you're making people watch it. You're making people
Peggy,
watch
shut up.
it.
What you do is you start a podcast to fill that void. All right, so the one thing I was thinking was like the guy who's the abortion doctor. No, wait. There was a guy who pretended to be a gynecologist. I see the light flashing, which means get off the stage. But the guy who, I don't even know if this is going to be funny, but the guy who was pretending to be a gynecologist, but then imagine someone comes in to be like, I need an abortion. He's like, whoa! That's not out of my wheelhouse. I'm just here to look at labia.
Busted.
That's how he got caught. It wasn't because he didn't know what the fuck to do. It was just like, open your legs. He's like, I don't think you did anything, sir. He's like, nope, I did. You're good. Get out of here. I love it.
Matt pretended to be a gynecologist, but for men. He pretended to be a penis doctor.
It's just because he just wanted to like have a better life. If I was a penis doctor, I would actually make money.
All right. Well, I can feel the whole room being like, when is the show over? I gotta please, I have children to get home to, and so I don't know, guys. Any closing thoughts? Any questions for Matt or Peggy or Jake or myself?
They don't want to ask questions. It's literally the anti-heckling room. Like, it's literally the most polite, wonderful, smiley crowd that's just like, stop talking to us. We listen to podcasts. We don't want to talk to humans.
Do you have any questions, Matt?
For what? It's like, are we done?
No, guys, listen. You guys run a really fun show, and it's a really fun podcast. So give it up to these motherfuckers. It's hard to have a successful podcast, and you guys are sitting there watching it out here. And listen, it's different.
I mean, thanks a lot for coming. This was the first live show we ever did. We thought it was going to be a disaster.
No way, I couldn't tell.
But we really appreciate every single person who came out tonight. So give yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah.
For Jake and Peggy and Chris, and we'll be at the bar if you guys want to say hello. And thank you and good night. God bless.